Okay, so I got my cousin Tonika's blessing to tell this story, and hopefully it doesn't get me canceled. Now, keep in mind, this was my experience, and by no means am I uh, making fun of anyone's religious expression. This is just lighthearted, and again, this is my experience, and I was there, and you weren't. But with that being said, this is the time my aunt took me to her Pentecostal church. So let's start off. It's a big ass, like, white building. I mean, at least that's the way I'm gonna tell the story. It was a big ass white building and unmarked. We go in, it's a big door, and as soon as you get to the place of work, the area of worship, there's a huge, like, at least like 20 by 20. And when I say 20 by 20, I mean feet. Like, it was big. This big ass painting of people burning in hell. I swear, it was the wildest thing ever. I had never seen anything in a church. I had never seen anything like that. There was a painting of people burning in hell, like a sea of fire. It was wild. So that was off-putting. Then everything gets started, and there was the praise team. They were gonna do their dance, and only one person showed up, so that was awkward, and there was no music, so she was just there dancing to nothing. So that was great. And then we get through the whole thing. I don't really remember like the bulk of it. I just remember how it ended. Now, I guess this must have been like their altar call time, and the pastor tells the usher to lock the door. And when he locked the door, he puts a big ass bar across the door. He told them to lock it. I swear, I know this sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but this happened. So he puts this big ass bar on the door, and I'm like, what the hell? And my heart starts pounding. I was like all but like 18, 19 at this point. So so the pastor, he's doing his thing, he's praying and stuff, and little by little, everyone around me starts speaking in tongues, like like that. And and so one by one, like literally everyone around me is speaking in tongues. And it was like, to tell you how I felt in that moment, it was like the scene in Thriller when Michael Jackson's date is looking around and the camera's paneling and she's like, oh my God, I'm surrounded. I'm looking around, and then I see my aunt to my left, and she's like, and I'm like, oh my God, not you too. Like, it was the most horrific. And then my cousin Tonika says I made at least 25% of that up, which is a very specific number, and I did not. But anyway, so she told me today that she actually called her mom, my aunt, to confirm that the painting was there. And my aunt was like, oh yeah, they got rid of that like years ago, like 2 years after y'all visited. And I'm like, what? Well, of course, my black ass had to experience that shit and get traumatized. But that's a whole nother story. So, yeah. That was the time I went to a Pentecostal church, and it was the last.